Hi, I'm Grace from Country Wives Online magazine, and I'm going to show you my super fast makeup routine. If we did everything that the skincare and cosmetic houses told us to do every morning, it would take us hours. And so I know that it's tempting to go out without any makeup, but of course that's the day that you're going to bump into your ex-boyfriend, or you meet that gossipy woman who tells everyone that she saw you in Waitrose and you're looking terribly tired, poor thing. So really and truthfully, I think a few minutes every morning is definitely worth the effort, and I'll show you now, and I hope you find it useful. So the first thing I've got to do is get a more even skin tone, and my favourite product for this is not a foundation, not a primer, it's just literally a little bit of concealer, and I use this Maybelline one with a sponge applicator. It's really easy to put this on. You literally just pop it like this. I put a little bit on my eyelids as well. No need to clean the sponge because it's got some antiseptic in the actual formula. And then, using my brush, I literally blend, just to get rid of that dark skin that I seem to have acquired as I've got older. There we are. Just gives me a bit of a little bit more even skin tone, and I cheat a little bit, put a bit on the old marionette lines, bring it across here so that that whole area is a tiny bit lighter. I've got a bit more of an even skin tone. Next, eyebrows. You have to have them looking as good as possible because they frame your face. I learned a quick trick. You literally pull the skin here, and it just gives you an easier way to get the colour on to your eyebrows. Now, I've used lots of different eyebrow makeup, but I quite like this nice little pencil. It's got a little brush on the end, just tidy them up a bit. That's the eyebrows done. Next, I want to get a little bit of colour on my lids, just to make sure my eyes look as large as possible. Quite a tricky thing when you don't have large eyes. Again, I just put a tiny bit, in this case it happens to be a sort of very, very pale purple, just on the outside edge of my eyelid. Just seems to define your eye in one quick motion. Somebody at House of Colour told us about that, and I've been doing it ever since, and I just think it just makes your eyes look a little bit stronger. Now, to further define my eyes, I always use these MAC propelling coloured eyeliner pencils. They come in all beautiful colours, dark turquoise, purple, brown, you know, the usual brown, black and everything. This one's kind of a slightly metallic green and never needs sharpening, absolutely perfect thing. Again, pull my eye, I literally whack the colour across the top, open my eye and just put a tiny bit in the corner. Same thing on the other side, pull the lid, whack a bit of colour on, open my eye, do the corner. Next step, and sometimes I don't bother with this one if I'm in a real rush, but it's a bit of mascara. Now, I have been a fan for about 100 years of Masterpiece Max. It's Max Factor. It's thick, it's got bits in it, and for someone like me that's got short little stumpy lashes, it's brilliant. That's it. That's one eye done. It's so fast. I put a little bit on the bottom, just for a little bit of definition. That's it. As I say, super fast, perfect when you're in a hurry. Another perennial favourite of mine is this Bobbi Brown cream blusher. Absolutely brilliant. And that, believe it or not, will last me for 2 years, and I'm putting it on every day. You can do this with your fingers. I happen to use a brush. I just tap it onto the cream. Now, When you smile, you put the blusher up at the top of your smile. And the reason for that is when you're old like me, when you relax, the apples of your cheek go down quite a bit. So just tap, pop it on the higher part of the apple of your cheek. I normally blend it up here a little bit as well. Something about having a bit of colour on your face. Now it looks quite strong at the moment because I've only just put it on, but something about having a bit of colour on your face I think is a really kind of a youthful thing for most of us older women. Last but definitely not least is another splash of colour for my tired old face. This one happens to be a House of Colour lipstick. I really like it, it stays on, no fuss. It's creamy. I'm ready to go out. All the details of the products I've used are on the Country Wives website. And of course, you'll want to adapt this to your own face and colours and whatever. But I just think for the sake of a few minutes, I can now go out and be proud and think at least I've made a bit of an effort. I look all right.